Let's organize our pots and pans today. Yes, I hope you know the only reason I'm hand washing this is because I want to show you what my pots look like, and this one is dirty, but I really want you to see the whole picture. If you haven't seen me before, I'm Allison. I'm a professional organizer, and I've been sharing 24 easy and attainable organizing ideas that you can do in 2024 to get you organized. I'm going to show you how I organize my pots and pans, but first I'm going to show you some alternatives and things I've done in clients' homes. I love using vertical organizers like this. It helps you to really take advantage of all the height that's otherwise sometimes missed on shelves like this, and you can access all of those pans without having to disturb the other one. You can also use the same type of vertical organizer and flip it so it's horizontal and your pans are like filed like this, and it's the same idea. You can pull one out at a time without having to disturb the other ones. Also use this type of organizer to put pot lids in it. Here's a better example of how you can file those pot lids vertically. Again, so you can just pull each one out as needed and you don't have to disturb the rest. And one thing about this type of system, especially if you're using a drawer, is that your drawers have to be deep enough. They have to be high enough because some of those pot lids are very tall. So you have to make sure you're able to open and close the drawer properly. You can also use the inside of the cupboard door with these little things that just stick right on and your lid just sits in there. Use nothing to organize them. You can have less stuff and make sure they're in a spot where it's very accessible. You don't need any organization products for it at all. That's how I organize my pots and pans. This is how I store them. You can see this is pretty deep, like this is counter length. My whole arm goes in there up to my shoulder. So it is pretty deep. I have the stuff we use most in the front and less use stuff in the back. It's kind of hard to see, but I have little shelf inserts back there. So that way I can access the stuff on top or on bottom without disturbing everything else and moving minimal stuff around. Took a picture so you could see it better and brightened it up so you could see all the way to the back. As you can see, I have these like shelf inserts in the back. So we have a frying pan on top and frying pans below. Pots we use more up top in the back, and then below that is my like food mill that I don't use very often, just when I'm making applesauce. But this is it. These are all the pots and frying pans I have for our house. I want to talk a little bit about that first. The biggest pieces of organizing is understanding the space you have and what can fit in there. And me, this is it. This is what can comfortably fit into my space while still allowing me to access everything very easily. Or you tell me like, oh, I can never live with that few pots, or I have one of every size. We've been fine. Have there been times where I'm like, oh, I wish we had a second large pot, or oh, I wish we had this? Yeah, for sure. But I made do with what I have and we made it work and it was totally fine. It was fine. I promise it'll be fine. We are a family of 6 and I often have an extra N+ over and cooking dinner, so it's not like I don't cook for anybody. I do. We make a lot of meals and I cook a lot of stuff, and I'm telling you that this has been totally fine. Some of these different organizing solutions were helpful, and I hope you were able to kind of figure out stuff that could work in your space, in your home, in your kitchen from this. If not, let me know if you have any other questions about this, and keep following to get organized with me.